What is up, all of you fine and beautiful people? Hopefully this is not too loud and the audio is okay. You never know. But my name is SHANTH ENJETI. You're watching SHANTH ENJETI Art, and we're going to be talking about some art today. We're going to be talking about all kinds of fun stuff. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. And what's up, Hostman's Lounge? I got to say hello to all of my people. I have got to say especially hello quickly before they have to head out to Mark's Music Obsession channel member. All around great guy. Thank you so much, Mark, for being here. And Stephen Rockwood drawing the Alpha, the Omega channel member. It is great to see you as well. Let's see, we've got John in the house. It is great to see you, John. We have got Grey Wolf Graphics. It is great to see you, Grey Wolf. We have got Gen X Catholic in the house. It is great to see you, my friend. And channel member Simply Green in the house. Welcome, channel member Simply Green. And Hostman's Lounge, of course, chilling and holding it down, guys. So let us talk. I hope everything is going well. I've got a little quiet on the audio. Oh, interesting. I was worried it'd be a little loud. I might want to be careful on that, because last time I fooled with the audio, I blew everybody's ears out. So, oh, you know what? I know what it is. It's probably because I don't have my mic at a good level. So let's see if maybe that's a little bit better. We'll see how that goes. So yeah, interesting day. In terms of how things have been going. Let me move that just a little bit so it doesn't bump into the camera. But interesting day of work. Went to the post office, got more packages in the mail, and working on lots of artwork, lots of exciting things happening. But I had to tell you guys, I did something that was really important, really necessary, and I had to share it with you guys in terms of what I do. So I operate everything I do out of a very small and compact room. And I've been doing this and working like this all throughout doing the book, and then all throughout fulfillment. And I finally got to this point to where this room was so filled with stuff, I thought, I need to buy myself a table to help with fulfillment, to help with all this stuff. So I got myself a card table that is a nice wood card table where I could put all this stuff out and get it going so that I could handle fulfillment better, because as you guys know, with all of the stuff that we're doing, we are moving so many things, and there's so many moving pieces to this, including streaming and setting up this studio space and getting camera stuff figured out, all of that stuff, that a lot of times we just find ourselves, forgetting to take care of basic things. I know a lot of you guys know what I mean when I say that. And so I do things whenever I get to a point where I go, my shoe soles are falling off. I need new shoes. Things like that. And so if you guys want to get a little look at the one-man crazy operation going on, this is the stuff that is on the table right next to me. And above it, you guys will see all of the books that are getting ready to ship, and all of the other stuff I have over there, the mess of the studio. So yeah, that's the stuff I've been doing, and it's been great because I need it. Yeah, setting up a packing bench is a good call. Those are the things, man. Yeah, I'm looking at your shoes. That's what's happening. But setting up those things is really, really important. And as all that stuff has been going on, I realized something about going to the post office, and I want to make sure I share this with you guys, because it was an interesting day. But I went to the post office today to mail off another round of packages for you guys, and to get this stuff to you guys. Let me see if I can adjust this. Let's get you guys a lovely view here so that you can see some artwork now that you're in. Thank you guys for being here. Make sure you hit the like if you have not yet. Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Gen X Catholic. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, it is. It has been an amazing experience to see everybody's reaction to this stuff, and I could not be more grateful. Could not be more grateful for it. But I started, I was working on a couple of paintings. Then we got new printer cartridges so we could print some labels out. And I went to the post office today. And when I went in there was a big line of people, which is, which is no big deal, you would think. And about 5 minutes into the experience of just, waiting to get up there, it's like Cheers. I live in a small town. Everybody knows your name kind of thing. A lady came in, and it was like she sucked all of the oxygen out of the room. It was hilarious. She came in and she goes, I gotta sit down. I'm like, all right. So she sits down behind me on the windowsill, And then she's like, and they've just got one person working here. And I'm like, didn't really say anything, but I'm sitting here going, okay, I'm going to have one of those experiences. And then she said, what's this country coming to? And I'm sitting here like, no one's responding to her. And she goes, I wish this world would just end. That was this person's entry into the post office. And I'm sitting here and I'm dying laughing because I'm thinking, okay, so for you, a trip to the post office to mail things is, let me tell you about my bunions, says Gen X Catholic. So here's the best part about living in a small town and where you will get that immediate context. So this is the one behind me in line. The woman ahead of me in line gets up to the counter. And the guy behind the counter says, how are you doing? Says her name. And she's like, oh, good. And then says, how is your husband? Says his name. And she's like, oh, he's doing well. He's staying positive and blah, blah. And the guy behind the counter then volunteers and says, well, being diagnosed with Parkinson's is a big thing. And there's a lot going on. And she's like, and he's getting up there in years, but he's taking it well. And I'm sitting here. And I'm going, the person quietly waiting in line in front of me, not talking about the end of the world, is the person whose husband's been recently diagnosed with Parkinson's. And the person behind me in line being noisy and talking about all the problems of the world is upset because there's one person working at the post office. Isn't that something? And I thought about that, and I thought about just how... the big thing I've been thinking about when I'm writing Nosfero, when I'm writing heroes, when I'm writing characters, and these myths and monsters, I'm always trying to create work that's aspirational, which is a big thing. But I don't like the theater of nihilism, which is absolutely right, Gen X Catholic. We all have crosses to bear. It is how we carry them. Yeah, perspective is important. Shanth 2024 artist. I got it. That's a good one. And I was sitting there, and I was thinking about this, and I thought that one of the worst things that I think a trap we can fall into that I hear a lot of people talk about is the squeaky wheel gets the grease. I don't know when I started hearing it, but it must have been decades ago now, and I think you really started hearing it a lot when I came off to school in the 90s. And the thing that I started thinking about that was interesting to me is I thought people aren't wheels. People aren't wheels. I know that's a revelation to you guys, for those of you guys who previously had thought people were wheels. But I said, I go, if you really carry that over to people, what it means is the person who complains the loudest, squeaks the most, is going to be the center of attention. And there's another Southernism that I grew up around that I rather like, which is the empty kettle makes the most noise, which is a counter to that. And it just dawned on me that one of the things I take a lot of strength from and I really admire is when I see someone quietly going about their day, working hard and doing their job, I never assume for even a minute that it's because they have got nothing difficult going on in their lives. In fact, sometimes I think they probably do. They just really know how to handle things. And I think it's it can be very exhausting when we engineer ourselves to spotlight constantly people who are not handling their stuff and getting it done in terms of working hard. I'm not talking about perfection here. I'm talking about the ability to share positivity and to minimize the sort of nihilistic hopelessness speech that I see a lot of when people are talking. And when I'm doing what I'm doing here, and one of the things I thought about the new music I played at the start of the stream is, the whole time I thought I was a wheel, says Green Laser. Amen. I've been there, my friend. I started thinking about it was that there are so many people around me that are probably going through things that are as, difficult as things I've experienced or worse, that are getting stuff done. And thinking about them puts a smile on my face. Thinking about people who are creating optimistic pop culture, people like, Frank Capra, people like Walt Disney, who by no means had a perfectly easy life experience, and offering us things of beauty. The same thing goes with Dickens, for heaven's sake, growing up in poorhouses and workhouses, and then writing about these things. I think that's the stuff I want to look to. I want to look to the light. And when I'm doing both literally and figuratively as I paint. And I think that's a big thing for me when it comes to when I'm writing Nosfero. Yeah, hit the like, then relax. Amen, Past Master Dan. Amen. And it's great to see you, my friend. And I was, when I'm working and I'm packing up boxes and I'm doing all of this stuff, the thing that I'm often thinking about is how much gratitude I have for the fact that, I'm able to work at something I believe in, I'm passionate about, that you guys will come into these streams and we can sort of share this fellowship of art and this fellowship of just, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, optimism maybe. And again, that's why that shirt that I'm actually wearing right now, come to think of it, the Give Nihilism No Quarter shirt, that's why I came up with that phrase, because it's not a passive thing. What's up, my brother, channel member Timmy Mello? It's great to see you, man. It's always heartwarming to hear Walt used to draw cartoons on the ambulance he drove during World War II. You've got it, guys. You have got it. And that's the stuff I think about when I'm working. And I've been looking for the folks who care about these kinds of things, of storytelling and comics and adventure and all of it. And I spent so much time, looking for where we were all hiding, apparently, which I was waiting for, I guess, YouTube to be invented. And now that I've found it, and now that I've got this amazing audience, and I'm packing up books for you guys, and I'm just pouring my heart into the stuff I do, it's just, it's hard for me not to feel gratitude for it and feel inspired and excited. So yeah, this is actually the start of Nosfero 2. This is the cover for Nosfero 2. And but speaking of commissions and speaking of art, I have to share this with you guys. So one of the artists who is a big inspiration to me is an American artist by the name of Richard Corbin, who was an independent artist who was doing work in the late 70s into the 80s and all the way up until his passing in I think it was 2020 or maybe 2018. And I've been really kind of having fun pushing the envelope with some of the fun things I'm seeing him do with color. And so this is a commission piece that I'm doing right now for the great Eric Weathers. Never get it twisted. What's up, Dean? How you doing, my man? It's good to see you. Man, we got everybody here. Eric Huffles is in the house. Good to see you, brother. And Hostman, of course, is here. Past Master Dan, you guys are awesome. It's great to see you, man. Headless Bourgeoisie is here. So great to see you guys, man. And I'm sitting here, and how's your father? It's great to see you, my friend. And John, of course. It is great to see you, John, as always. And so I started looking at just the way that he plays with color and letting things kind of mix and letting the paint do what it will. And I started really getting excited about what I was going to do in this piece and kind of letting that stuff happen while bringing that same level of rendering that I love to do. And it's been a blast. What's up, our Luniverse? How are you doing? It is great to see you. And thank you guys for being here. Hit the like if you haven't yet, but it looks like most of you guys have done it. It does actually help a tremendous amount. And so, yeah, I've been looking at so much artwork, and I've been thinking a lot about, looking at Nosfero and being so excited about where it's going. And then, of course, my artist brothers like Eric Weathers and Michael Bancroft, people that I've really gotten to know, and all of you guys in the chat. It was one of those things to where I was up late night working, and I was looking for music for some other thing I was working on, funny enough. And I heard this really great beat with violin from the same people who do the copyright-free music that I use for my old intro. And I went, I think it's time. I think this is the next evolution of what I'm, already doing on this channel, but I think this distills it really well, which is a place to come and sort of get filled up on the whole inspiration thing, see art, chat, and and what I really frankly love about Bob Ross and folks like that. And it really made me smile. And every now and again, I love doing videos for other people, and it's a blast. But every now and again, I realize, like, oh, I've got an idea for something that will help me get excited about these streams outside of you awesome people, you know, and that's the cool thing about it. Yeah, the Lucent 2 Painted Death, absolutely, get it right there. Eric Huffles, thank you so much for dropping that link in the chat. It's really interesting. You can only control so much. It takes a conscious effort to work with the natural spread of the paint. You're right. You're right. You don't want to wrestle with it. Another artist of ours here, Dean in the house. I just finished reading Nosfero yesterday. That's great. Shanth, it's great. I definitely will be backing. Oh, Dean. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that so much, man. I really do. Thank you so much. Oh, wow, Dean. I'm so glad. Yeah, I don't even know how to describe it. I'm overwhelmed. You guys are awesome. Simply Green, I thought it was going to be a life analogy at first. Yeah, that's right. That's right. What's up, Art of Roy? How are you doing? Corbin's technique was basically cell painting. You're right. He was insane, wasn't he? He was like a mad scientist in the best sense. Was basically cell painting. He either drew on vellum and painted the backs, or he printed his ink and pencils on acetate and painted the backs. Yeah, he is an original. He is an American original and a comic book original. What a legend. Hail to you, Art of Roy. It's great to see you. Yeah, I mean, that guy is awesome. Yep, can apply to life 100%. Yep, look, a happy Dean. Rare. You guys are so funny. I saw a Bob Ross meme. What if Bob Ross was a serial killer and his paintings were the places where he hid the bodies? Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it's we almost don't know what to do when we're confronted with it. How weird. I was just thinking of my brown brother, and here he is. Thank you, Michael. I am so glad. I was thinking of you today, funny enough. I was talking with a mutual friend of ours. Yeah, all good things. Dragon Pisces is here. It's great to see you. Hey, Shanth, I'm learning how to develop film at school. I'm starting in photography, but I can't imagine doing film development for a movie. Neither can I. And some of my my biggest heroes, I will say this, are film restoration folks. One of my favorite movies of all time is a movie called Ben-Hur, which I'm sure some of you guys have seen. There's been several versions of it, but the one starring Charlton Heston. And it is an incredible movie. And the restoration of that movie, which happened some years ago, but maybe like 6 or 7 years ago, is a wonder. And it's incredible. And that movie just humbles me when I think about the fact that they were working with in-camera analog techniques to make that magic happen. I mean, it really is something. And so, yeah, not only are filmmakers amazing to me, but film restorers, people who handle the raw materials. And I'm not joking when I say this. I have written fan letters to film restoration houses because I love it so much. It's such great work. You know, it's such great work. Ah, there he is. Mark's back. Yeah, happy little accidents. Yeah, Bob knew what he was doing, man. Yeah, celluloid is old school. 100%. Man, you got the chat is moving. What's up, Mighty Geek Studios? It's great to see you. What is up, awesome one? How are you doing? It's great to see you guys here. Yeah, oh my gosh, here you go. We watched Untouchables. Love that movie last night. Great cinematography. Mel hadn't seen it. That's great. Yeah, that's the Chicago way. Love that movie. Love that movie. Hello, Shanth. What's up? Art and Times with Jay Ryan. And we got Graveyard Shift. Sign up for Volume 5. It is going to be the continuation of the incredibly shocking and compelling Omega Storm. And that is all I'm going to say about that. So yes, guys, make sure you go and check that out. Untouchables is beautiful in terms of cinematography and one of the finest ensemble casts that you're ever going to see. And just the sequence of the meeting of Kevin Costner. I'm a massive Kevin Costner fan. In case anybody is ever doubting that or wondering. I love Kevin Costner, but Kevin Costner's acting with Sean Connery on the bridge after his first tough day of work. He's Sean Connery's kind of going at him, but then he can kind of tell that the guy is feeling down. He's like, "Are you okay, pal?" And I love that. What is up, Ferris Comics? How are you doing, man? It's great to see you. I hope you're doing well, channel member. We've got Mr. Monkey Boy 1969 in the house. It is great to see you, my friend. But just beautiful acting, man. And that is that's the thing. Well, this is for actually the Battle Brick Road. The link is in the description. The Battle Brick Road poster book or print book that's 11 by 17. It will be a book, so you can flip through it, or you can take the prints out and hang them on your wall. So for those of you guys who want some larger Shanth Enjeti prints, make sure you get a hold of that for Eric, because Eric, you can never, I'm going to say this as someone who has done it, you can never back Eric Weathers too much, because Eric Weathers always has our back. He is a load-bearing wall in the indie space as both a letterer and with his brilliant creative work that he does with Zeb Hatfield, Battle Brick Road. And Battle Brick Road 2 and 1 are available on his own website. The link is in the description. And again, if you've already backed the book and you have not backed the poster book, it's going to have artwork from Dan Lawless, from myself, from Eric Weathers himself. Like, so many incredible artists are going to be in that book, and they're going to be beautiful 11 by 17 prints fit for your wall. So make sure you get that book or get that poster book. So if you've already backed the comic, go down. It's got a beautiful, very painterly, great cover. I love it, by Eric Weathers. Make sure you back it if you haven't. That dude is a great dude. He's one of my art brothers that I talk painting with, and it's really fun. It's fun to talk art and have people that you can chat with about just various painting things. And have you seen this artist or this this Russian painter? And I mean, it's just kind of one of those beautiful things. It's like and I haven't done a lot of it, but every now and again I get a chance to send a message, less to Graham. I've sent him a message recently when he wasn't feeling well. But I same thing about talking about monsters with Aaron Lopresti and Graham Nolan, who I know loves monsters a lot. That you find folks that you have a shared interest with, and it makes everything brighter, and that's a big thing we're doing. That's a big thing we're doing in this space. CG letterer supreme, without a doubt. The larger pick of Shanth Enjeti swimsuit poster will cost extra. That's right. Yeah, it will, awesome one. And yeah, you have to pay to not get it, is what people would do. Kevin Costner filmed Highwaymen, yes indeed, at the exact spot Bonnie and Clyde were killed. They made that part of the road outside of, is it Louisiana? Is that, God, why am I not getting this right? Sales to look like it did in 1934. Wow, that is crazy, man. That is crazy. Yeah, indeed. And Return to Monster Island. Speaking of Graham Nolan, right there, guys, there's a beautiful story. Get it done. It's great. I just read Joe Frankenstein 1 and 2. Very good, says Eric Huffles. And we would expect nothing less from the great Graham Nolan. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing too, right? Is Highwaymen and there's people like Kevin Costner. One of the things I love my favorite Kevin Costner movie. One of them is Open Range with Robert Duvall. Fantastic Kevin Costner Western. If you haven't seen it, do see it. It was a bit of a sleeper, but it is one of my favorite Western movies, and it talks about sort of a little known or less known aspect of it, of the West. But it is a wonderful movie. Annette Bening is in it. Just a really stellar cast in that movie. And I love it. I love that movie so much. And I think Kevin Costner's attention to detail in it is fantastic. But yeah, I like that he likes to make movies for people. He knows who his audience is, or the audience he's after. And he makes movies that are long movies, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but they really bring you in. What is up, my brother Rocky Ballesteros? It is so great to see you. Recently passed 100 subscribers on his channel. Congratulations, man. And doing some incredible work over there. Incredible work. And I'm so thrilled every time I see you in the chat, brother. Let's see who else. Gosh, we got so many folks in here. It's so great to see you guys. We have got Michael Dicha. It's so great to see you, my friend. Eric is the man. Battle Brick Road, right there, guys. 100%. Yeah, and I love that stuff too, because it's, I don't know, man. It's one of my oldest and closest comic book brothers, who I've been making comics and art with since we met in college, is in the house. And one of the things that is, I was thinking today, and I don't think you'll mind me saying this, I was having a conversation with Eric Weathers, and one of the things that came up was C.S. Lewis and the Inklings. And if you don't know that story, they used to meet at a place called the Bird and Baby, actually known as the Eagle and Child, which sadly, recently is no longer in operation. It had been in operation consistently since their time, but it's off the Oxford campus, or on the campus, and they would meet there, and they formed a group of writers called the Inklings, and they would hang out and just share ideas, and and the thing that C.S. Lewis said was, it's wonderful to meet people in your life who have some inkling of the things that you're passionate about. And I think about that a lot, as YouTube as a resource for that, right? That we get to hang out here and talk and have these conversations. So in particular, do you know what I mean? When I'm talking about my oldest, ancient, who knows how much longer we're going to have him. He really is on death's door, friend Rocky Ballesteros. I think about those kinds of things. And he knows, by the way, that I'm going to beat him as far as that's concerned. But it's a great... oh, really? Oh, my gosh. The Inklings, Shanth. Oh, my gosh. The Inklings, Shanth. I'm going to start reading Bandersnatch. Have you heard of it? It's about that very group. I have not. That is amazing. That is amazing. And that is a trip, dude. That is... I tell you, these things line up, but this is the crazy thing. We do not need permission from any governing body or any of that stuff to have intelligent conversations. As long as there's a space where we can get together and talk about art and talk about things that inspire us, we can do it. Negativity is not a predisposition. If there's one thing Nosfero is about that I really believe in, is one of the most insidious popularized beliefs is that if you have difficulty in your life, there is no escaping it. You cannot ever get to a good place. And that flies in the face of so many of the people like Tolkien, like C.S. Lewis. That is basically the definition of people that I admire, are people who have overcome obstacles, people who have accomplished things. And negativity, whether it's in the post office or when it's in general in your life, is not something that you should ever let dictate terms to you. Give, as my shirt says, give nihilism no quarter. The link for this shirt is in the description. I wear it to let people know that I am not a part of that kind of party. You do not have to be negative because there's negativity around you. It's difficult, but give it no quarter, man. Give it absolutely no quarter. And when I'm sitting here and I'm working on this stuff, I always say that we have the option, to not be nihilistic and not despair. And when I see you guys in the chat, and you're so right, man. So true, Shanth. Growing up, I didn't have to share my love of comics. I didn't have anyone to share my love of comics with. Internet changed that. You're 100% right. And the gratitude for it is overwhelming to me. The gratitude I feel for it. And, you're right, man. Check out Michael Bancroft's sweeping universe of the Lucent. And I will tell you, when Eric, when Eric hired me to work on this piece, which I am so excited about, and it came on the heels of the Razorfist piece, but also Michael's piece, I thought to myself, we don't have to ask people's permission. You guys are funding hand-painted, handcrafted, individually packed and shipped, comics, so that we can build something here that is beauty thumbing its, nose in the direction of people who believe in ugliness. And it takes your support to make it possible. Period. Without you guys, all of you amazing channel members, all of you guys, who send super chats, all of you guys who back books, all of you guys who like the streams, share it out. Those are not small things, what you're doing. Those are not small things. And my artist brothers who are there to have art conversations with and keep the positivity up. Do you know what I mean? It's, I always think of that Denzel Washington video that I've played very frequently, that I haven't played in a while, and I really should, which is, ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. One of my favorite Denzel quotes, and my other one is, fall down 7 times, get up 8. That's all it's about. That's all that's about. I do not thumb my nose at you, sir, but I thumb my... But I do thumb my nose. Absolutely right. Gosh. If thou art to make minstrels of us, you're likely to hear nothing but discord. Here is my fiddlestick. One of the all-time greats. But it's I love Mercutio. I think everybody should have a favorite Shakespeare play and a favorite Shakespeare character. My favorite Shakespeare play is Macbeth. My favorite Shakespeare character is Mercutio. Hands down. But I love all Shakespeare. I love that stuff. I love Kurosawa's adaptations, Ron and Throne of Blood. If you want to see samurai Shakespeare, those movies are great. I could watch those movies over and over and over again. I mean, audio commentaries are great. But we're making beauty happen here, guys. That's what we're doing here. I mean, we're building artwork, and we're all going to be able to say that we were here when this stuff started, and that's what I find so exciting. God, I'm so behind on the chat. Ain't no party like a nihilism party, because a nihilism party don't stop. Yeah, we're here to stop it. Oh, thank you so much, man. You guys are great, man. You guys are terrific. You know, everybody's saying hello to Rocky. Let's see here. Love Shakespeare references, always great. Showing in Nashville, no kidding. There you go. One word of truth outweighs the world. Yes, outweighs the world. Alexander Solzhenitsyn, 100%, and a great author and artist. You know, that's what it's about. Holding the Bancroft cover like it's gold. Indeed, a candle in the darkness. That is what it's about, guys. Yeah, it is so true. You know, and it's, I love writing. Ron is great. You're absolutely right. Samurai Shakespeare in the Park could be wild. It would be. Yes, truth, beauty, and goodness conquer nihilism. Nosfero has all that. Thank you, Gen X Catholic. I think about that a lot. Richard III, amen. See, this is the stuff I love, because when people tell me about a Shakespeare work that they like and a play that they like, I always think, I'm going to go reread that one again. I have the complete works of Shakespeare. Funny enough, the two most read books during the Wild West, during that particular period, were the complete works of Shakespeare and the Holy Bible. I have both of those next to each other right over there. And if the soul becomes, dyed by the color of its thoughts, as my quote that's kicking around here somewhere says, I try to keep those things around me that are going to ennoble and lift things up. What is up, Griever Enterprise? How are you doing, my friend? I hope you are well. Our Enterprises, I'm sorry, left the S off of there, but it is great to see you enjoying a day stream with the Vampire Rocky. Yes. And what's up, Mighty Magic? How are you doing, my friend? It's great to see you. Yeah, Richard III for me is massive. Yeah, Gen X Catholic is jockeying for a blurb on Nosfero 2. Good stuff, man. Listen, that might very well happen. Yeah, and I have to say that one of the things I've been most excited about, there's a few people who know what the Nosfero 2 is about, know what that book is about. And it's crazy, man. It's one of those things that I don't know, man. There's so much great work that's happening. There's so much. Yeah, the Second Chance campaign is the very next thing, Mark. I know you are waiting for this thing, and I am so ready for it. Believe me, we are. And thank you so much, Mighty Magic. The Second Chance campaign for Nosfero is going to be my next campaign once I get all of these books in the mail and ready to rock. And I'm already building it right now. I'm already building the campaign. That is locked and loaded and ready to go. And then after that, or the thing I'm going to be working on and what I'm going to be using that to help fund is going to be Nosfero 2, and I will launch that campaign after I finish up the Nosfero 1 Second Chance campaign. And yeah, it has been great, man. It has been really great to be seeing these books. They're printed so... I love the printer. I love the job the printer did. But Nosfero 1 is printed so beautifully. And they really got the colors. I saw Mike on one of his streams that I would have been turning purple if I had seen it live. It was wonderful. But he was talking about the colors, and he said that the colors looked great. And I can tell you that the colors were perfect, man. The colors on Nosfero, I could not ask for more than what they are. They were great, man. Yeah, he needs his Nosfero fix. Amen. I'm happy to provide that. Yeah. Loaded with trendsetters. Guess every age has dealt with them. I'm guessing. I feel like I missed something. But I'm sure it's there. Shanth, make sure you do a 1.5 and 2.5 campaign. It's all hype among the youngins. Then I don't know if I could swing that if it's hip among the youngins, you know? It's such a crazy thing. I was watching Richard Friend, who has a wonderful YouTube channel, but I was watching a stream he did on Richard Corbin, and he said something that made me smile. He goes, and this is the crazy thing when you're looking at Richard Corbin's work. He did all of this by hand. Somewhere this work exists physically. And it had never dawned on me. I know that sounds weird, but it never dawned on me that that was the case with my stuff. And I thought, wow, that's a trip that people aren't doing that stuff as much anymore. And that those of you guys who have bought, the watercolor head sketches that were on the last campaign, you've got like physical paintings in an increasingly rare environment for that kind of thing to exist. And it's weird, to me to think about that Michael owns 2 head sketches of mine, I believe. And there's a few people who own originals of mine. The CYBERFROG original is gracing a really great CG'er and collector's home that I did. He owns the original. And here's an interesting thing about buying originals, guys, that I still find really fascinating. Yes, and thank you for dropping Richard Friend's link there. 100%, man. This is the thing that got me is that when people buy my originals, typically my experience has been they want everything. So they want the sketches, they want the tracing paper transfer, they want the photocopy I used to make the tracing paper transfer, so they usually buy out everything. And so that's a theme I have. So by the time when someone buys an original, they usually own the entire process. And what's cool is in my future art books, I always add, whenever a piece has been purchased, I let the person know, in the collection of. So this painting is in the collection of this particular person. So in art book 2, there was an original that was bought that was a tracing paper sketch by an artist who saw it on Instagram. And I was like, I think I'm going to toss this tracing paper. He's like, please let me buy it. Don't throw it out. And so if you have art book 2, and when you receive art book 2, if you haven't gotten it yet, you will see that an artist whose last name is Dragunis, who's a pen and ink artist, he owns the original tracing paper sketch for my Biolante inspired piece. So a piece inspired by the creature Biolante, but it's more of a sort of a metaphorical painting. It's a very soulful piece, but he doesn't own the original. But he didn't have the money for that, but he did want to purchase the tracing paper. And I appreciate that. I love the people who are collecting my originals, and art books 1 and 2, I have a lot of those originals still. And so if you go to shanthenjeti.com, you can see those pieces. There's still some artwork that's listed there. But, I always say people can feel free to contact me and ask if they are interested in any of those originals. And if we can make it work, we'll get it done. That's how it is. What's up, John? Good to see you, my brother. Yeah, Dark Harvest was originally called CyberFrog 2.5, so a 3.14 pi would work. That's awesome. Gotta love the pi. Richard Scary is my favorite kids' books. So many characters and story is, and it's such basic art. What's wild is, and this is something that's really interesting, is that Guillermo del Toro owns all, and I saw the originals at an exhibition of his collection, all of the original artwork, I believe, to Scary Stories in the Dark. And I saw an interview with him, and on that interview, what was really funny, he talked about how he owns all but one of the Bernie Wrightson Frankenstein pieces. And he had probably the most gangster quote that I've ever heard from an art collector. They said, "You have all but one. Do you know who has the last one you need?" And he goes, "Yes." And they go, "And?" He goes, "He is not going to part with it." Basically, I have offered him so much money and he is not gonna sell it. And I was dying with that, man. It really, really cracked me up. I love that, man. I love that kind of stuff because art runs deep with people. You know, art runs really deep with people. When people commission a head sketch, which I've got, if you guys haven't seen those, and there's a bunch on deck that I have not mailed yet, because they're going to be packed in with their books, but they're going to be going out very, very soon. They will not be, my children, these paintings will be departing soon. It's always difficult. It's always difficult to do. But when people ask me for a, quote, head sketch, what we're really talking about is this. We're talking about fully painted paintings that people are going to be able to frame and keep in their houses. And it's always, you know, a monster commission, or it can be one of my characters, and I have a bunch more over there. And I also have a bunch that are now in people's private collections. And that's the cool thing to me about all of this stuff, you know, is that we have the opportunity to, you know, create artwork that someone's going to pass down, you know, long term, which I love. Yes, and Michael has 2 of them. What's up, Skull Nasher? It is great to see you, my friend. Love that thumbnail, man. That's awesome. Yes, you do. You have 2 of them, Mike. You have 2 of them. Yeah, and one of my magnum opuses is for your book being painted. What we're talking about is Shanth painting with his head. It's kind of like finger painting, but with his head. Absolutely true, man. Absolutely true. And I have to tell you, oh my gosh, I have one in my collection. Lloyd, let me tell you a story that you'll appreciate. Lloyd, the head sketch I did for you was 100% a moment of divine inspiration, being visited by the muse. A buddy of mine who is the concept artist on the early Guitar Heroes, a huge name in concept art. He's worked for DreamWorks. He's, you know, DreamWorks Animation. He's worked for Sideshow Collectibles, any place you can imagine. He saw your Bride of Frankenstein piece, and he said, "Did you come up with that? The idea of her silhouette in the silver of her hair?" And I go, "Well, I've never seen it anywhere else. I mean, maybe someone's done something like that before, I'm sure." And he was like, "Well, I've never seen anything like that." He goes, "That is insane." And I went, "It is a painting that somebody bought, and I wanted to add a figure to it because they are a serious backer, and like all of you guys, been really supportive through the process of how time-consuming it is to handcraft a work." And they just were really like, "That's a head sketch?" And I go, "Yeah, I want to give people a painting. I want to give people beauty." And it's the same thing with the art book, and it's the same thing with Nosfero. I want you to be able to flip through that whenever you're feeling like you need some inspiration, and I want you to feel excited by it, you know, and I want you to say, "Oh, I want to look at something beautiful right now. Let me look at this book. I want to see something uplifting." That's what it is. What's the hardest painting that I've ever done? Michael's painting, hands down. Yeah, the Lucent painted death piece is the most difficult and complicated painting I've ever done. And I mean, I've painted, I actually did a recreation with a little bit more accuracy in acrylic, a large-scale acrylic realist painting of the famous dodo bird painting that is in the Museum of Natural History in England. And, yeah, believe me when I tell you that gigantic scientific / a little bit of playful imagination painting was not as complicated as the painted death piece I'm doing. It's not even close, you know? And that's what it's about. Oh, thank you so much, Lloyd. I appreciate that, brother. Yeah, I mean, it's serious. It's serious. You know, that's a serious painting. I want to look at something beautiful and uplifting. I'll look at a giant snake-eating woman. You know it. You know it, man. That's what you got to do. Eric, you're going to drive me into a coughing fit, man. You guys are awesome. But, you know, there's certain commissions that have been really difficult right now. This one, I've been very much in a groove on it. And it really was looking at Richard Corbin and his beautiful Angoulême catalog. of his work that I got a while back. I made a decision this week that while burning the candle at both ends is my typical mode of operation, that perhaps it would be a good idea to do some organizing in my office, look at some books, and recharge a little bit, which is in fact what I've been doing. And I've been packing up books all the while. I've just been taking some time to kind of make sure that the painter part of me is and the shipping part of me has the support structure that it needs. And in doing so, and sort of looking at all of this artwork, it reinvigorated me on everything. It really did. And I've got like I had mentioned at the start of the stream, I bought a table for my tiny office. I do everything out of. All of the painting, all of the shipping, all of my reference material is in this very, very, small room that I work in. But you know what they say, enough is as good as a feast. And I really needed a table, just a card table to put my stuff on. And I do that kind of thing sometimes where I negotiate with myself and I go, do you need this? Do you need this? Like, I have shoes where the soles are falling off sometimes, Yes, indeed. Yeah, the snake was canceled. Awesome one. Rest in peace. I'm not painting those scales on book 2, I can tell you that. But it's an interesting thing. Let me see if I can switch to this, because I want to show you guys this with a little bit of a bigger camera here. Let's see here. New scene. I don't know if... Oh, whoa, there it is. Oh, that's terrifying. So this right here is my workstation. So here's where you can see the trading cards, the tape, the fragile stickers, the books, the sealing stickers, the Made with Liberty and the U.S.A. stickers that I use. And then these 2 comic book boxes that you're seeing right there are filled with signed art books, signed books, so I can just reach in there and put those things together. And then I can, sorry for the hand in your face there. And then I can take those and I can load, and then when those are empty, I can reload, because I've only got enough space to have as much shipping as I can do in a particular time period. So I actually have to order supplies as I run out so that there's space in here for everything I need to do. So it's one of those things, but I love doing it, and I like handwriting a note for everybody's thing, man. When your time lightens up, I would commission you to do a dragon piece. Oh, I've got that in my mind, Lloyd. That has never left my mind. I think about that painting all the time. Yeah, John is Sean's studio, the Dollar Tree with aisles filled with boxes. It totally is, man. Yeah, absolutely. I cannot wait for you to get your copy. It's, guys, I'm loving, like, when I'm packing these boxes. See, I don't want to dox anybody, and I don't have anybody's address printed. But one of the big things I do, no matter how many filler cardboard sheets I need, is it's really important to me to make sure. I'll do this again. Let me go to that camera. This scene here. It's really important to me to make sure that I pad it with the cardboard pads that they sell at Gemini mailers, so that I can make the edges of the box square. So there's probably, I think this is a very big box here. This has got probably about 4 books in it, maybe 3 books, because the person had a complicated but really great order. And so, yeah, this is actually the extreme, but most of what's in here on either side, or not most, but a lot of what's in here is padding cardboard to make sure that the box is really secure. And it just has a lot more integrity if, it's not half packed, or it's packed right up to one of those folding corners. So that's a big thing that I'm just crazy about that. Like, I've just got to make sure that's the case, Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad to hear that, Lloyd. I really care about the packing, man. I really do. I really do care about the packing. I think about it a lot, and I always appreciate, when people take the time. I mean, I have never gone through this many rolls of packing tape in my life. Man, it's crazy. To be able to read Nosfero for the first time again, I envy you. Thank you, Gen X Catholic. I really do appreciate that. I threw away my copy of Nosfero and just framed the packaging. Rocky, you killing me, dude. Oh my god. Yeah, Mike, that was my favorite part of your response to that was the box when you were talking about it. You go, I've never received such a ridiculously secure box in my life. Because, I mean, I built that box, man. I built that box. You know, that is such an important, it's such an important thing. Okay, seriously, that's not all right, Michael. I'm only thinking about your package. So I also have kept the package and haven't read the book. That's right. That's right. Yeah, at least you didn't fire the book. Yes, no kidding, man. No kidding. Absolutely right. Yeah, my kids weren't packed as well when they were born. The boxing was epic, says Gen X. There you go. Oh no, don't tell Rod. Yeah. Shanth, I love Phil. It's so great to see you, brother. I love Nosfero, man. I'm going to show it off on my show tomorrow. Phil, I was actually just like when I saw you go, did he get his box yet? Thank you, brother. That means a lot. I am so glad to hear it, and I hope you are well, man. I hope you are well. One of my favorite paintings, and dare I say easiest paintings, that I've for me to do because I was just very excited and in a zone on it, was a canvas painting that I did of Phil's pulp character. Phil is one of my brothers in pulp, The Masquerade, and I'm sure he has it posted somewhere. I know I've posted it on Twitter at some point, but that painting was just like a lot of these things. It was like a visual conversation. You know, we were talking about pulp, and I said I think I need to do a painting, and it's wild because it's actually how a lot of the conversations with Razorfist started that led to him commissioning me to do something for Ghost of the Badlands. I feel like I'm using my cameras a lot today, but it started with things like this, where I do a canvas painting or a canvas sketch of one of his characters from his books, and I would ask him for details. I'd go, do you have a sketch of the sword of this character? Do you have, because I'm reading the book, because I have his audio books. I said, because I'm reading these books, and I'm just curious if I'm getting this right. And so this is one of the paintings actually that's for sale on my website, but this painting right here is of one of the characters, of Razorfist characters from book 1, and he actually sent me a sketch of the sword to help me do that. And this one right here is another painting from his book. And oh yes, I just noticed that, John, you just noticed this. 100%. Yeah, I can talk to you about that. Absolutely. Oh, dude, you're gonna love this packaging, man. It's gonna be cool. So that book is an entire series of books. That was done, and that one is from 1931. Okay, that one is from 1931. Think about that for a second. And what these were photographic books for the ooh la la factor, but really they were for what they were supposedly for was for artist reference and talking about photography of the nude figure. And what is so wild about it is these things typically sell for hundreds of dollars. This thing's almost 100 years old. And what I started to realize is, and one of the models featured in the book, in this particular issue of it, and it's, 15 cents on the cover, is Myrna Loy. So this is early Myrna Loy from 1931. And one of my concerns about this kind of stuff is that that these things are going to deteriorate and be gone. We're going to lose all of this stuff. People who buy these don't typically open them or they just put them on a shelf because they're collectors. And I want to go in and high-res scan that so that it exists, so that it's something that will last. And I don't know if that's ever been done before, but you can't find these kinds of things online. They don't exist. Yes, scan it digital. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So when I have the time, I want to do that because these are artifacts of a very particular time, this kind of pre-code, right around this code time, and there's a particular look to everybody that I always say, as odd as this may sound, I consider what I do full color pre-code comics, and that's a big thing. It's it's so I don't know, this stuff is so fascinating to me. And artists, somewhere along the line, we kind of lost that visual investment in the beauty of the female form. And I know that a lot of us here in our space do it in what I think of as the Comicsgate space, the Iron Age space for folks who weren't doing comics. But it's something that we're kind of recapturing because it is really the core feature of romanticism and romantic art is the human form. And finding portrayals of the human form that have this concept of grace to them is very difficult. This kind of classical Alphonse Mucha kind of grace. Those things don't exist, and I think that stuff is important to preserve, lest we lose it forever. So one of my big things is preserving things. Preserving art is very important to me. Mike likes tacos. It's great to see you, man. You make me hungry for tacos, man. You can find the reference online, but a solid collection like that, get ready to make your own collection of reference. Yeah, exactly. And I have found one copy that was photographed. Amen, Mighty Magic. Amen. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition, my friend. Yeah, I knew Gray owned those comic books stores before. Yeah, there you go. Oh, Gary, gotcha. Yeah, there's a difference between data and information. It often frustrates me that we don't have big CCO databases available. We do, but only to an extent. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, you were totally... What's up, General Piggy, channel member? I haven't seen you in ages, brother. How have you been? It is great to see you, man. Yeah, I mean, it's there's so much potential for greatness, and in terms of artwork, but also in terms of what you surround yourself with. I have, next to my complete works of Shakespeare, I have a facsimile copy of A Christmas Carol. Over, I don't know if I even have it. Hopefully I do have it here. Shoot, I wonder where it went. But somewhere around here, I have a copy of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, which is one of my favorite books, with the original, or I don't know if they were the originals, but the Arthur Rackham illustrations. I try to keep this stuff. Yes, Internet Archive is one of the places I first found out about these books, and I went, why are these things not in better resolution? Well, actually, it was in pretty good resolution, but I was like, the pages were all at angles, and I thought, we've got to start a database for a lot of this 1930s stuff before it goes. But it's yeah, that's so important. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know until you guys pointed that out. Did a little research, and sure enough, he did. It was called Comic Outpost. There you go. There it is. So yeah, I'm trying to, much like I'm trying to be, carrying the torch for this kind of pulp artwork, this kind of beautiful, independent, romantic, sword and sorcery, monster artwork, and traditional media use to create it. I feel very much that it's important to do the same thing for the older works that are out there. And while I can only do a little bit, there's people who have done so much more. Film preservation folks are incredible for that kind of thing. I do think it's important, and I really do hope that some of these works are going to be photographed and saved before they just don't exist anymore, before they deteriorate. So to paraphrase Starship Troopers, I'm doing my part. And that's really been the goal of what I'm doing here. What is up, Dan Lawless? Gross Point, Dank himself in the house. How to Draw Comics by Dan Lawless. It is great to see you, my friend. I hope you are doing well. Yeah, it's a wild thing, but I think that's one of the best things you can do for your well-being in general is to surround yourself with beautiful things, beautiful books, beautiful sculptures, furniture you love, whatever it is. If you have the means to do it, sometimes it's as simple as putting a fresh coat of paint on the walls and just taking some time to make the space you're in just a little bit more comfortable. Take those books out that you love and display them where you can see them as a reminder of what it is that is your why behind what you do. You know, for me, comics is the easiest sell in the world because comics have enriched my life so much that I want to surround myself with the comics, with the sculptures, with all of that stuff. You know, it's funny. You guys were, because I just noticed you guys were, looking in the background at the Frazetta Rough Workbook is here, the French Miles book, but also this is this right here is a big inspiration for me. This is the Angoulême Richard Corbin catalog that was produced for a show they did at the big French convention, Angoulême, shortly before he passed. Look at the beautiful pulp illustration quality of this, and these are scanned from those originals. These are new scans, and I am so grateful that this book exists because it's a source of tremendous inspiration to me and what I do. And so when you guys see the things I'm doing, I know you know this, but very often it really is about standing on the shoulders of giants and standing on the shoulders of all of these people who have inspired me so much as an artist. And when you've got fans around you who are, just is so supportive and passionate about, this stuff that we all love and the work that I'm doing, and you've got, artist brothers around you as well, who are there for you to talk art and to, just to keep ourselves on task and focused and passionate about the things we're doing. That is being truly rich is having people who support, are so enthusiastic and support the work. And I'm just beyond grateful, man. And I love this stuff. I love doing this stuff. And I just think it's make this stuff happen. Make this stuff happen. Corbin used magic, I think, Dan. I mean, we were talking about it before, but the animation cell style, acetate overlays, the crazy, I've heard it described so many times, and no matter how many times I have it described, I cannot wrap my mind around it. And I think it was because, he started his career as working in animation, doing industrial animation stuff and making his own animated films. I think he went to, it was at the Kansas City Art Institute, if I'm not mistaken. It's wild. That guy's story is incredible. And he was a true innovator and a true introvert in the same sense. Gosh, his influence is enormous, including my stuff. I mean, a lot of the stuff I'm really going for and pushing over here on this side of this painting are inspired by having a rhyme and a reason for why you do it, but letting the color just activate that painting and activate that space. And I want this to feel very operatic for people who back again, the link is in the description. If you have backed Battle Brick Road 2, but you have not backed the print book, the print book is an 11x17 print book, and it's going to have a piece by Dan Lawless. It's going to have a piece by myself, a piece by Eric Weathers. There's so many people who are going to have their work in that book, and you can keep it as a book if you just want to flip through an 11x17 book, almost like an artist edition. But if you don't want to do that, you can actually take the pages out and frame them, suitable for framing, which is great stuff. Yeah, exactly. Channel member Eric Huffles, you're 100% right. Yeah, introverting ain't easy, but it's necessary, my friends, 100%. But that's why I love the fact that Razorfist is going to be using that painting. One of the reason why he commissioned a bunch of us was that he's going to make them into posters. So that was one of the stretch goals. So that is going to be a poster, that Razorfist piece I did. What is up, Jordan? How are you doing, my friend? It's great to see you. Yeah, it depends on who wins the fan art contest. I will back the print book. Yeah, that's right. Andy Griffith just showed up on my TV. Where's Henry to dote on Aunt B? You're absolutely right, man. Shout out to Aunt B, by the way. Shout out to Aunt B. Yeah, I mean, that's the stuff that makes for a rich working environment and a rich relaxation environment. My brother-in-law bought one of my paintings not long ago. One of my larger paintings that is Kong versus Goldzilla, and that was I think that's still up on my site. I gotta put sold on it if I haven't yet. And you know, it really is about having, you know, a lot of us have spaces that we come home to at the end of the day, and buying yourself a cheap bookshelf if you don't have one yet, or taking the bookshelf you have and organizing it with stuff that inspires you so that you can sit down and reach over for the stuff you want, no matter how small the spaces you're in. If you take care of it and cultivate it and fill it with the things you love, it will be food for your soul, and it will be good stuff. So do not miss those opportunities. I'm in a lot of ways I'm as bad at that as most guys are, but it's so important. We'll definitely have to make your painting a poster. Amen, Michael, and that would be an honor, man. It's that thing is out of control, 100%. Shanth, I just created a video on understanding color. Going to post it shortly. Guys, if you are not subscribed to How to Draw Comics by Dan Lawless, and I'm assuming all of you guys are, do make sure you go and click the link to his channel, open it in a separate window, and make sure you're subscribed, because he's going to have a new video up on color, which should be a banger because he's fantastic with color himself. You know, but it's yeah, we're going to make the stuff that is going to be enriching for our audience. We don't have to take care of everybody's audience, but we're here to take care of our own audiences and our own audience, and people will show up. You know, I mean, again, I mean, not to go all Costner on you guys, but it's true. If you build it, they will come, and I think that it's really important for us. You know, it's really important for us to just make quality stuff and show people. Let me bring you guys in here a little bit more here. Let me let this focus a bit. There we go. Let me give you guys the view of this process that you come here for and that very few people get to see. And there we go. There we go. And so, putting these marks in here and these lines is how we put it together. This is how we build, you know, it's almost brick by brick, brushstroke by brushstroke. This is how we're going to build this stuff out. And you guys are really getting to watch are getting to watch that process, that bird's eye view of the process as we do it, you know, and that's so important, you know. It's what makes doing this so fun. Dan saying I tripped over my words a lot in that video. We all do that when we do these streams, you know what I mean? It's such a big aspect of it. Yeah. I recently got a copy of Color Image Scale by, oh my gosh, Kobayashi. Trying to improve my understanding and use of color theory. Great. And there's a great book called Color and Light by James Gurney that's fantastic as well. Yeah, keep your damn dirty hands off of me. Yes, Lucy Lawless. Shout out to Lucy Lawless. Let's see here. Yes, indeed. Yeah, Dan's wife, Lucy Lawless. Many of you guys know. Yeah, from what I understand, Brian bought Comic Outpost and made it his comics experience satellite location, but then he just couldn't keep it open, so eventually closed. Wow, you guys are going deep lore on that, man. Yeah, I mean, it's so fun to do this, and it's in terms of, how do I word it? Of course, the stuff I'm doing right here is work, but the spending time with you guys is the thing I really look forward to, you know, and it's great to kind of be in here and be able to give you guys this experience. And I think that as much as some of this stuff is, you know, fading out in terms of traditional use, or has been, what I've found is that YouTube seems to have become a place where these things are being rediscovered, because you get a fly on the wall view of this stuff. And there's a lot of folks out there who want to watch, you know, content like this, videos where people are hand making things, and also people who want to buy things that are handmade. They just don't know where to go, and you guys help get the word out. You know, you guys help get the word out. Like, it's here, guys. This is where you can find it. You know, this is where you can get this book. And you know, until you know, someone else is handling the publishing of this stuff, in terms of, you know, bookstores and things like that, this is it. Like my job is to keep this stuff in print if I can afford to do it. That with you guys and your support. But this is the thing that we're here to do, and I know that it's going to go to a place to where people are hearing about it, people are excited about it. But without you guys and without this time here, much like everything, much like the MCU, much like all these things, and I'm not comparing that to this, but I'm saying at some point, let's just say the first time this stuff was ever on television or used on a product design or a shampoo bottle, it started with these comic books. It started with the creator and their fan base knowing about it, and then it got bigger from there. And that's it starts somewhere, and it starts here. It starts with you guys. That's why we're able to do this, is because of what we're doing here in this independent space, and I'm so grateful for it, man. Yeah, Gurney's a big inspiration. Love Gurney. Yeah, there you go. There it is. Sean's been working on my drawing cam setting. Oh, excellent for streaming. It's going to start getting crazy, brother. I cannot wait, dude. I cannot wait. Going to be just like old times, man. Some of the best times, just making work and chatting with some of the best people in the world. Can you imagine if you had told us that this was going to be something that we had the ability to do, that we were going to be able to find the kindred spirits, the collectors, the appreciators of art, story, romantic visions, optimistic people that we would have to find out and meet when we were in school, talking to people like your friends that you do your streams with from middle school, and to have access to people all over the world who are passionate about these hobbies and artwork and adventure and just, it's wonderful, man. I love it. I love it. It's the best thing in the world, man. Yes, that's what we got to do. Stop for anyone else. It was me. That's right. Let's see here. Rocky, you gonna have Cosmic Cast out the wazoo on that setup? Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, I thought he was breaking the space-time continuum. Yes, that's right. Brian announcing the closing on Bleeding. Cool. Yep, there it is. Man, you guys are like the best research team in the world. Yeah, slight lag. Oh, there's a slight lag. There you go. One Cosmic Cats. Wait, what? Yeah, there might be a little lag from time to time. It's a brain lag more than anything else, I would assume, knowing myself, But yeah, I mean, it's, I look at these books that I'm getting, and I think about how much when I was doing comics as a kid and trying to get them printed, it's still really expensive to do this stuff, and it's amazing, but it's not. I mean, it would have been impossible to make something like Nosfero in the 80s or 90s. The artwork would have had to have been photographed for starters. I mean, the process of setting up the print would have been a nightmare. I can do all my color steps and that stuff in-house. It's wild. Yeah, slight lag. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the lag. Sometimes, if there's a printer on or something like that, it can, in our house, it can make things lag. Or if people are streaming something, sometimes it just depends. But also sometimes it's just the internet. It's just the interneting. Is that a sable brush or man-made? So this is a synthetic. Yeah, this is a synthetic brush right here. I typically am using synthetics, especially when I use acrylics, because they can just be so hard on the brushes. It's best not to use anything like that. But I've thought about getting a sable brush for, just to try out the longevity of it. But I typically use synthetic sable for just the cost reasons of it. Let's flip this around. Let's take a look, because sometimes I have to flip these things upside down so I can get a better angle on the brushwork, But I love the fact that Ecamm allows me to stream my art making process at 1080p, even if there's a little bit of lag. What ends up happening when the final stream is all said and done is you get a really nice high resolution of all of this stuff, and it really comes together nice. Really comes together nice how it works. The plan to remove... Oh, juice, I just missed it here. The plan to remove small shops worked... yeah, I know what you mean. Shanth needs to do an Indiegogo for an internet upgrade. If using a printer makes it freeze, dude, you have no idea. It's bad. Doing what we can here. Never been to San Fran. Only been to California once when I was a kid. Maybe I'll get out there someday. Yeah, there's some great stuff there. Yeah, sable ain't cheap. Amen. Yeah, $28 for a brush like that one. Yeah, I mean, and that's really it. So much of it is putting it into printing, putting it into everything else, and yeah, just making sure that we're doing everything to the highest quality we can afford to do all the time. And I can make do with the brushes, make do with the shoes. I can handle, like it was funny, examples of things that happened happened during a week when you guys don't see me. I know you guys know this stuff, but we had we got a high water bill because our fill valve on the downstairs toilet was defective, and it was leaking. It kept pumping out water, and it was basically costing us doubling our water bill. And so, I'll go from painting and packing things, wake up in the morning, go over to Ace Hardware, get a new fill valve, and then I'm like, underneath the toilet just installing a new fill valve. And it's, you guys know, like, we're constantly working and doing things, and sometimes we're like going, did I remember to get more brushes and order more packing supplies? It was ridiculous, man. It's just the way it is. Yeah, let me see here. I get enough overpriced stuff in Canada. If I go stateside, I never go there. Oh my gosh. We are like the patrons of old. You guys absolutely are. Commissioning amazing artists to produce works of beauty for the age is glorious. Yes, you guys are, and never forget that. Never forget that. What you're doing is so, so important, man. It was so important. And that's what it really comes down to. I was trying to figure out what you meant. Rich is talking about. I forget. I don't know what Rich we're talking about. Is still on interwebs. I thought you were talking. Oh, we must be talking about. I'm missing everything, guys. Couldn't remember his first name. Thousands of gallons a day can be lost through toilets. Your app, Charlie Stevenson. Man. What's up, Eric Grant? How are you doing, my friend? It's great to see you. I always love seeing Chris Reeves, man. He's my Superman. 100% my Superman. Yeah, those were the days. Yeah, that's right. Rocky saying hello to everybody. Yeah, I mean, it's there's a store that I would go to in San Francisco with my brothers, Rocky and Arvin. They would take me to, and I think it was called Green Apple Books, if I'm not mistaken. But I could be wrong. They had like old Mobius books, like just the rarest books and comics. This place was like eBay in physical form in terms of everything you could get there. And this was in the time of eBay, folks. So this was, and we would just go there and my jaw would just drop at the stuff that they had in there, man. Just incredible comics and, rare portfolios from conventions, because when all those things are happening, it's like when I saw Rocky's video of going to Paris comic shops. The artists are there. They're walking around. And so that stuff is first rate. You know what I mean? Everybody's saying hello to Rocky. Yeah. Oh, we had a leak under the foundation. You know what I'm talking about, man. Yeah. It's that stuff can kill you, man. Shanth, I screwed up and thought Eric was talking about Bleeding Cool was closing. Asked, what will John's do for work? Now, got you. All right, I'm caught up. Yeah, for a minute there, I guess I was thinking of, gosh, my brain is all over the place right now. Oh my gosh, who am I thinking of? The inker I was just talking about. My brain is gone. Who does those great streams on Richard Corbin and stuff? I can't believe I'm blanking on his name. This is terrible. But yeah, Green Apple. Yes, Green Apple, best used bookstore in the city. It's a little smaller now, but still awesome. Yeah, I can imagine the rent is absolutely crazy, because that place was 2 stories, I think, last time I was there, and it was massive. Like videos, DVDs, all this amazing stuff. There was nothing you couldn't get there, and that is the thing about big centers and big cities, is that when they're in their prime, and when things are being looked after, you can just get things. I mean, it's an embarrassment of riches. When people come from other countries and they see the things we have, even just your average Barnes & Noble is a mind-blowing experience that you can get that much stuff there. I mean, that much stuff is available to look at. And so, it's you can really create, if you go out and you see that there is, don't feel like there's a place you can go to where you can feel, inspired and excited about the stuff that you see around you. Make that thing in your house. Repaint a room, get some books, buy some original artwork, all of that stuff that will help you to be, you know, more inspired when you go about your day. That's what we're doing here. That's Richard Friend. Thank you, Skull Gnasher. Yes, Richard Friend. That's who I was thinking of. And thank you, Rocky. Yes, just a great channel talking about art. Amazing stuff. Really good dude. Yeah, I know Paul Neary passed away. I was so sad to hear that, man. Yeah, he was a great inker with Excalibur and Alan Davis. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, right? We have a responsibility in many ways to make sure that people know who these artists are and know about their work, because for no other reason other than in many ways a selfish reason, is that if you don't know the stuff that's out there that's been done, you can't really stand on the shoulders of giants. And we have this incredible legacy of American pop cultural artwork. And if we can make this stuff, everything that it can be, we can move things forward in a remarkable way. And I think we're starting to do that. Yeah, him and David were quite a team. Yeah, absolutely. Davis, I know what you mean. Yes. And what's up, Sean? Hey, what's up, First Watch Studios? It's great to see you. Hail, CG. Hail to you, my friend. Currently unboxing Nosfero. Oh my God, Eric. That's crazy, man. Damn, this book looks and feels great. Great work. Thank you so much, Eric Grant. Oh, wow. That's the trip, man. I appreciate it. I'm loving getting these things out there. Oh, that makes me smile. Gen X Catholic, absolutely legend. Yeah, 100%. What's up, First Watch? Michael Bancroft's The Lucent 2, Painted Death, and Lucent. If you have not gotten either books, please do get them. Siege Perilous is here. Evening all evening to you, Siege. I hope you're doing well. And, of course, thank you again, Michael Dietsch, for doing that and for getting that in the chat. I do appreciate it, man. Eric Grant, Shanth, he needs a cheerleader. Oh, yes. What did I miss you? Did you send a super chat? Oh, my gosh. I've got too many windows open. Oh, yes. I know what you mean. A cheerleader for opening the book. You're absolutely right. Let me get that to happen. Where is it? Here we go. This is for you, my friend. Charge! Boom. There you go. Thank you so much for packing Nosfero. And I want you to enjoy that book, man. I want you to enjoy that book because it is it's remarkable that we were able to do that and we're able to make this stuff happen. You know what I mean? It is a remarkable thing, and the fact that I'm continuing to be able to do it is only possible through you guys and your support. So let's keep making this stuff happen. And let's keep working. You know, that's what I'm going to keep doing for you guys. You know, putting this stuff together. Because, you know, and Eric, thank you so much for your support, man. And it's crazy. Ooh, I'm going to pay for this Vindaloo later. Now I'm hungry. I can already feel it. That's right. I'm telling you what, man. I start to feel like sometimes that the UK, not only is it the national food, but I feel like it's also like the national bird, man. The best Indian food you will ever have in your life is in England, is in London, man. That stuff is killer. And, yeah, I've talked to a lot of folks over there about it. It is the food. I mean, it's crazy, man, because some of that stuff is spicy. But it is, you know, it's funny. Indian food in the South and the States is a massive hit, too. People who like their spicy food, man, they love it, man. Yeah, speaking of hungry, it's getting time to go to eat. I'm the same way, man. I haven't eaten a thing today. I got to get something to eat. Mike likes tacos. Sharing tacos in the chat. You know what it's about, man. That's what it's totally about. Yeah, guys. I mean, we're just gonna keep chipping away at this stuff, and every copy of that book that gets sent out, and every time I write a thank you note on the inside of one of those you know, boxes and packages I'm shipping out, puts a big smile on my face because, you know, this is the kind of thing that we wouldn't have been able to do to show people this is what the indie scene can do. It's a question of, I almost sort of feel like that Lawrence of Arabia quote, you know, Aqaba is over there. It's simply a matter of going. You know, yeah, you've got to cross the Nefud Desert, but on the other side, you're going to take Aqaba. And that is what it's about. You know, and if you've got that, and my other favorite quote from one of my other favorite quotes from Lawrence of Arabia is, funny enough, I can fiddle though, but I cannot fiddle, but I can make a great state from a little city. And that's what we're doing here. Love the bookmark and trading cards too. Oh, Eric, I'm so glad to hear that, man. That is so great. Have only had Indian food a few times before. Yeah, there is some great stuff up there. Lamb Rogan Josh is a favorite of mine. Love that stuff. 32 watching, 32 likes. This seems seems like this is the standard all other streams should hold to. Thank you, Mike Likes Tacos. You're so true, man. Yeah, on the other side of the sand. Yeah, and that's the craziness of it, right? That's the craziness of what we do, is we just keep bringing it. We keep making this stuff, you know, better and better. And, you know, it is a marathon to make a book like this. It is and we had no idea how this was going to go. And I should say this, that I knew I would get it done, but I had no idea what it would be. Because I am an independent comic book artist, and I've never done a fully painted comic before. I've done fully painted art books, but not a comic. And I knew it was going to be difficult, but I wanted to come in here, and I wanted to challenge myself and make something really beautiful for you guys that was undeniable. For anybody who looks at us and says, well, what are they really doing over there? I wanted to show them the skill and craft we bring to bear. I've been flipping through it at the moment, so I can't make an informed decision. Every page looks too good. You guys are so funny. Thank you so much for the kind words. Oh, I'm making stir fry using the uneaten steak from Valentine's Day for the meat. God bless you. That sounds delicious, man. Oh, why are we talking about steak? You're killing me. Anybody buy all the discounted chocolate today? Yes, indeed. That's what you got to do. You got to buy that discounted chocolate, man. That's how we make it happen. That's how we make it work. Yeah, I love that stuff, man. Good food is definitely an important thing, and I cannot cook to save my life, and it's just one of those things. I do not understand it. I can clean like you wouldn't believe. If I got to clean a house or I got to do some kind of work, cleaning a huge space like an office space or something like that, I can always do that stuff. Any kind of labor stuff like that. But I really admire people who have the gift of cooking. One of my brothers is a fantastic cook. He even grows a lot of his own ingredients. He is incredible. Like when you have that skill, that is an amazing thing to be able to share with people, and something I really admire when people can do it. Yeah, I mean, anybody who cooks, you guys know, man. Just dropped. There you go. Excellent, excellent. Is that the Dan Lawless one? Yeah. Just like J-Law, Shanth is the first. Yeah, there you go. Congrats, Shanth. Thank you so much, guys. You guys are awesome. Eric Grant is the choosing between prime rib and ribeye. There you go. Yeah, you guys are absolutely right, man. I love seeing this stuff. Rocky, don't talk about ribs. Rob might hear you. That's right, Rob, the Riblicator. I love that, man. I love that dude. Yep, Dan Lawless video. Excellent, excellent, guys. So why don't we do this? Everybody head on over and check out Dan Lawless's How to Paint video. I have got to get something to eat. I have not eaten today, and it's 6 o'clock here. I've been working like a machine, and I need to get a meal in my system before I fall over. But yeah, guys, this is what we're doing. We're making great artwork here. You're helping to make this great artwork here by funding it, and I am so grateful for you guys. Thank you guys for checking out this stream. I have some, I didn't fully update the credits, but I did add a name to the credits of a new channel member. So if you're still on there as a channel member, that's because I missed a chance to stream because I've been so busy with this work, and I want you guys to just see your names up there because I appreciate it. I'll update it after the stream. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here today. Thank you guys for hitting the like button and all that stuff and being subscribed. I appreciate you guys a ton. Yeah, just stay positive. Feel great about, the fact that, you guys can make the spaces around you great. You can bring positivity into the world. And the more you see negativity around you, Eric, it makes me smile to see that. I am so glad you're hanging on to that, my friend. The more you see anything negative around you out there, just remember that's going to make it so much more pronounced when you bring positivity out there, whether you're waiting in line at the post office or the grocery store, or you have somebody in your family having a tough time. Send them a text sometimes and saying, I'm thinking of you, something positive like that. It goes miles. And that's actually how I've met most of the people I've met in the Comicsgate space and in the Iron Age space or whatever you're calling it, or people even outside of this, by writing simple letters like to film restorers and saying, I'm a fan. One person said, we never get fan letters. Thank you. And I said, man, glad I could be the first. So yeah, make sure you guys are having a great time. I'm wishing you guys all the best. Thank you so much. Yes, indeed. God bless everybody. And as I always like to say, speak easy, stay gold, keep the faith, and peace, because that is what Shanth means. I will catch you guys later, and thank you to all of my channel members. Take care, and I'll see you soon.